Hi everyone, here's a quick exercise that shows you how to do some chromatic voice leading. This example comes from the workbook, chapter 33, letter D, 1C. It's on page 360. And it has some sequences in it that we're going to discover. But basically what I'm going to focus on now is just realizing this figured bass down here. So let's do that. I'm going to follow it literally. So it says I need to put a fifth above the bass, and it needs to be a flat. So I'm going to put E flat in there. And then a sixth above the bass would be C, so I'll put that in. Now I don't know the third note, so I'm assuming the one that gets left out is the third, right? So I'm going to assume there's a third in there, or a G, so I'll put a G in there. And that makes sense because I have C, E, G, B flat. The next one has no figures, so we can assume it's a root position triad, F, A, C. I'm going to double the root, and note that I'm going to have to make that into an F natural so that it's the same type of root that I have below. The next one has three figures. It has a natural by itself, which means the third. So a third above there is F natural, which I already have. So I'll just keep that common tone. Fifth above there is A, so I need an A flat. And then a sixth above here is B. I'm just going to keep the B that I have, which is a B flat, because it didn't tell me otherwise. Okay, and then above this note I have a fifth that is a lowered note, so we'll put B flat in there. And I can assume a third, and then I'll double the root, which again has to be the same as this root, so E flat. I have an E flat triad there. Okay, follow the instructions here. Put a third above there, G. I'll put a G right there. Put a fourth above, which would be an A. I'll put that right in the top voice. And then I need a sixth above C, and it needs to be C sharp. I think I'll put that right there. That's probably the best way of getting to that one. Okay, that chord looks interesting. I wonder if you recognize it. Okay, then we go to a chord that just has a sharp below it, which of course implies the third, so it needs an F sharp. That sharp's already in the key signature. And let's double the root and put in a fifth. Same thing here, it's a triad with a raised third. A natural means that it's going to have a B natural in it. So we put that B natural in there. We'll double the root and put in a fifth. Third that's raised, fifth that's raised. So we've got a 3 above there is D sharp. How about right there? And fifth above there is an F sharp. So I'll put that from the G would be really smooth. That's already it's already in the key signature. And I'll double the root here with a B. Which would be a nice B major triad. This one would be an E with a G sharp in it, right? So let's keep the common tone, put G sharp in there, double the root. A with a C sharp. Let's put the C sharp on top, put the A there, and then I'll put in a fifth. DFA. Let's keep moving this up. D F sharp A, that is. And now this is all pretty much diatonic, so I'll put in a G, root position, C chord, then back to the G. Okay, let's listen to it and see how it sounds, first of all. Works pretty good. Okay, so there's some fairly smooth voice leading in here most of the time. And it looks like this first part has a sequential pattern, so let's figure out what the roots are. This is hold on a second. The root of this chord is G, the root of this chord is C, the root of this chord is F natural, the root of this chord is B flat. And then the root of this chord is E flat. Okay, so now looking at the roots, what do we have? Descending fifth, descending fifth, descending fourth, fifth, fourth. It's a circle of fifths. Okay. Now let's look at the latter part of it. So after we got back to G, we went on a little excursion here. We had a B major chord, an E major chord. This was more obvious. An A major chord, a D major chord, G major chord, and then even a C chord there. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Quite clearly, again, the circle of fifths, which is very common. And here it looks like we've chromaticized it a bit as well. Now I've already done a little bit of analysis. I'm going to show you. Just pull it up here. Look at the second half first. B, E, A, D, G, C. Each one of these has been turned into a secondary dominant of the next chord. So this is a 5 of that chord, the 6. This is a 5 of the 2. Then that becomes a 5 of the 5. And then that's a 5 of 1. 1, 4, 1 at the end. Okay, so every chord in this circle of fifths has been made into a secondary dominant. The beginning, though, was a little different. We had a G, then we tonicized F natural, which would be a flat 7. Then we tonicized E flat, which would be a flat 6. So it's kind of stepping down by whole steps. Then we land on this chord. It's got an E flat going to the D, a C sharp going to the D, has a G and an A. Turns out to be a French sixth. So let's listen to that one more time. You can hear that progression. Listen for those patterns. And that's how it's done. When you do your homework, you don't need to do the Roman numeral analysis. You just need to realize the figured bass and put in or figure out the pattern of root movement, the sequence that you find. Okay, that's it for today.